Greetings, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this week's Mental Health Moment with Dr. Matt. Clearly, there's a lot going on in the world right now, and while a lot's been going on for quite some time, seemingly even more is ramping up at this point. For those of you who are struggling, please know that I hear you. This week, I'm hopeful to impart some simple yet profound considerations for how each of us may continue moving forward peacefully. First, we need to consider the subjectivity of suffering, as this is something that differs from one person to the next, as suffering truly is a state of mind. In the words of Viktor Frankyl, one of the developers of existential theory, as well as Holocaust survivor, to draw an analogy, a man's suffering is similar to the behavior of gas in a chamber. If a certain quantity of gas is pumped into an empty chamber, it will fill the chamber completely and evenly, no matter how big the chamber. Thus, suffering completely fills the human soul and conscious mind, no matter whether the suffering is great or little. Therefore, the size of human suffering is absolutely relative. Accordingly, at this time, it's likely that many of you are suffering and perseverating on the thought to the extent that it's difficult to find peace and hope during this time. Further, it's hard to think of something actionable to do to end the suffering when feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Just as suffering is subjective, so are positivity and optimism. To this, Viktor Frankl highlighted the following. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. That said, even in times of hardship, we can choose to do the right thing. Even when the rhetoric filling our ears is that of hate speech, we can choose to respond with love. Even when DEI initiatives become compromised or completely taken away, we can choose to be kind and respectful to one another. Even when it seems that so many people believe the opposite of what we do, we can choose to listen but be intentional while surrounding ourselves with those who do share in our convictions. Even when it seems there's little that can be done, we can choose to take action. Even when the action steps are seemingly small and may take a long time to see through to fruition. In the end, we have choices. If we choose to love, we'll continue receiving love even in the darkest of times. Never forget that. The power is truly yours, even if you cannot see it at this time.